reevaluate or resubscribe. This article will explain derived members in ECO. Its primary purpose is to describe the difference between the reevaluate subscriber and resubscribe subscriber parameters when you derive members in code. One of the excellent features of Bold which have made the transition over into ECO is derived members. A derived member is a bit like a calculated field on a dataset, except it is only calculated the first time you request its value and then that value is cached to processing time. Take person's full name as an example. Full name would be calculated as result equals title plus first name plus last name. The first important step to creating such an attribute in ECO is to mark the attribute derived. It is actually possible to specify some derivation OCL and have the ecosystem derive everything for you title plus first name plus last name, but this article is intended to show you how to handle much more complicated scenarios. With a typical dataset calculated field, you would expect the method to be calculated every time the value is requested. If the current object is being displayed as a list in a DataGrid, then calling this method for each instance every time the DataGrid repaints can be CPU intensive, especially if the value is calculated from many other attributes/objects. In ECO, the method is executed the first time the value is requested, but then the result will be cached automatically within the ECO space. Future requests for the value of this derived member will return the cached value instead. The potential for CPU saving here is obvious, especially with complicated routines. A co-derived method for a member has a specific name and parameter list. ECO uses reflection to find a method. The structure is function derive and subscribe, reevaluate subscriber, resubscribe subscriber, iSubscriber. In our full name example, ECO would expect to find function full name derive and subscribe, reevaluate subscriber, resubscribe subscriber, iSubscriber string. The problem here is this. If the value of the derived member is only calculated once, and then cached, what happens if the value of title, first name, or last name changes? The ECO framework obviously has no idea what we did to derive the value of this member, nor which other objects/members were used to calculate it. To ensure that ECO never returns an incorrect value, it needs to know when this member should be recalculated. In fact, what it actually needs to know is when this member should be marked invalid. It won't be recalculated until its value is requested. The ECO framework uses a kind of observer pattern to watch the relevant objects/members, Whenever one of these are altered, the echo space will mark the derived member invalid. Deriving a member via Derivation OCL will place these subscriptions automatically. So, our code now looks something like this: function FullName derive and subscribe, reevaluate subscriber, resubscribe subscriber, subscriber string, begin result equals title plus plus FirstName plus plus LastName, / now we place or subscriptions self dot as I object dot properties title dot subscribe to value, reevaluate subscriber, self dot as I object dot properties FirstName dot subscribe to value, reevaluate subscriber, self dot as I object dot properties LastName dot subscribe to value, reevaluate subscriber, and the reevaluate subscriber is an observer object which is passed to us from somewhere within the inner workings of the eco framework. All we need to do is to make sure we subscribe it to all of the relevant objects / members. Whenever one of these dependent elements have their value altered, the reevaluate subscriber will tell the eco framework that the value of or member should be reevaluated next time it is requested. Reevaluate or resubscribe. This brings me to the final point. There are two subscribers passed to our method, reevaluate subscriber, and resubscribe subscriber. So what does the other one do, and when should it be used? In the previous example we used the reevaluate subscriber because we only needed to know when the values of title, FirstName, or LastName change. In a more complicated example we may need to do something more structurally complicated, like iterating through every order line of a purchase order and subscribing to members of those related objects instead. In this kind of situation, what happens if a new order line is added? We can't possibly already have subscribed to an object which yet hadn't existed at the point we placed our subscriptions. What if an order line is removed or deleted? This is exactly what the resubscribe subscriber is for. This subscriber should be triggered whenever we want to say dump all of the subscriptions I placed last time. Let's just start again. Basically, it is not the values of the elements which are changing. We need to replace our subscriptions because there are more / less objects to take into consideration. Function order value derive and subscribe, reevaluate subscriber, resubscribe subscriber, subscriber decimal, var current order line, begin result equals 0, for current order line in self dot order lines do begin result equals result plus current order line dot line value, //subscribe to the member of the current child object current order line. As I object. Properties line value. Subscribe to value, reevaluate subscriber, and / finally, if the self.order lines list changes in any way / we need to scrap all of our subscriptions and start again. Self.as I object. Properties order lines. Subscribe to value, resubscribe subscriber, and conclusion. Hopefully this has been an eye-opener as to the abilities of co-derived members in ECO. If you have not done so already, I would recommend reading Rolf Lampa's article Dynamic Navigation for Higher Performance. It was written for Bold, but the principles are the same.